You turn the key. The engine cranks, but it just will not start. Or maybe you are driving down the highway, you step on the gas, and suddenly the power just falls on its face and the check engine light pops on. If you scanned your car and saw code P0192, you are dealing with a fuel rail pressure sensor, a circuit low. This code is incredibly common on everything from Fords and Volvos to Volkswagens, and it applies to both gas and diesel engines. Here is the deal. Your engine computer needs to know exactly how much pressure is in the fuel rail so it can tell the injectors how much fuel to spray. The P0192 code means the signal coming from that sensor has dropped below the limit the computer expects. Basically, the car thinks it has no fuel pressure, or the sensor has gone silent. This can be a mechanical issue, sure, but more often than not, it is an electrical gremlin. Before you go buying parts, there is a huge safety warning I have to give you, especially if you drive a modern diesel. The fuel rail pressure on a diesel engine at idle is around 2,000 psi, and under load, it can scream up to 35,000 psi. That is enough pressure to cut right through your skin and inject fuel into your bloodstream, which is incredibly dangerous. If you are not comfortable or trained on high-pressure diesel systems, please leave the physical sensor removal to a pro. Now, for the troubleshooting you can do safely. Start by finding the fuel rail pressure sensor. It is usually right on the fuel rail near the injectors. Look at the connector. Is the plastic melting? Are the wires rubbing against the engine block? I see this all the time. Vibration wears through the wire insulation. It touches metal, and boom, the circuit shorts out, causing your low voltage code. Pull the connector off and look at the metal pins inside. If they look green or white, that is corrosion. A little electrical contact cleaner and a plastic brush can fix that right up. If the wiring looks pristine, we need to rule out the sensor versus the computer. If you have a scan tool that can read live data, watch the fuel rail pressure voltage. It is likely stuck low. You can try a little trick here if you are careful. With the sensor unplugged, use a fused jumper wire to connect the 5-volt reference wire to the signal wire on the harness side. If your scan tool suddenly shows high voltage or sets a circuit high code, congratulations, your wiring and computer are perfect, and you just proved the sensor is dead. If nothing changes, you are looking at a wiring break further back in the harness. Also, for my gas engine friends, check the vacuum line going to the sensor if it has one. If you pull that vacuum line off and gas drips out of it, the sensor internal seal has failed, and it is toast. Swap out that sensor, clear the codes, and you should be back on the road with full power.